a virtual version here. We've got myself, of course, we've got Jimmy out in Alabama with Myrna, and we got Dee as well here in Las Vegas, and Tori in the side too. We miss Tori at the bar. I'll tell you, it's not the same when you go to a bar. You don't have Tori giving you drinks all the time.
I miss being at the bar.
I bet. And here we are. We're in coronavirus. The way we have to do things now online. And let's just start with Dee. Dee, how many beers have you drank since this whole lockdown?
Oh God, probably a couple $1,000 worth.
I bet. And Jimmy, probably the same thing, right?
Oh, at least. Well, since I'm older than you two,
Combined.
about 10,000 more. As Deborah likes to remind me all the time.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite things now is I've actually bought more beer at the gas station than I have gas in my car.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when I go into the gas station and spend like $85 and all I have is beer.
Yeah. Well, they love you there at the Speedy Mart, Dave. They know you by name, don't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
They just point, there's shit's over there.
Jimmy left Las Vegas, but over here on Facebook, there's a whole Las Vegas beer group there that these guys always post their stuff, and the Speedy Mart's always posting, and they've got a really great selection. You'd be surprised that the best beer selection in town here in Las Vegas is at the gas station at this point.
Wow.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I miss the beers in Vegas big time. But you know what? It's almost like starting over. I mean, there's a whole new world here in this corner of the United States that I'm exploring. So it's almost like turning 21 again and jump-starting your drinking career.
Right. And it's good to hear good ending stories every once in a while. Jimmy left Las Vegas. You moved to Alabama now, and it looks like you really settled down well there. You've gone to a lot of breweries, and I think the craft beer scene has been very good to you over there, hasn't it?
Yeah, Myrna's like my hearing aid for me because the iPad that we're using, it does not have a lot of volume.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to be drinking this Elysian Space Dust today. I'm going to crack this thing open, but as I do, this is one of my favorite IPAs here in town. Actually, the breweries in Seattle. And Jimmy, you turned us on to this brewery a while back on one of the shows. And ever since we did one of those shows, I've really been drinking their beers and finding it. They're really, really good. So you nailed this one. Definitely a good brewery.
I believe that it was Garner, our buddy Garner Mathesmeyer. He first discovered it and turned us on to it.
Yeah. So while I crack this open and start drinking this, why don't you start telling us about some of the stuff that you have prepared and what you've been drinking there down in Alabama?
Okay, well, this one is actually, I know you're familiar with the Abita Brewing from, they're out of Sweetwater, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you can see it right there. Anyway.
Yep, got it.
This one is called the, pardon me, it's called the Andy Gator. Now, this one you're probably not going to get out in Las Vegas. It's a Hollis Doppelbock, and it's a whole 8%. This one I will crack open.
Yeah, can you
Take a nice, here, we'll do this in a tall glass.
Yeah.
Real nice color. Kind of a sweet flavor. You know me.
Right.
I go more for the sweet and malty type of stuff. That's a nice color, nice head.
Yeah, that looks pretty nice. That's a good pour. That looks very similar to my Elysian Space Dust, actually.
Exactly. It's in my favorite glass here, my Tom Petty glass from, he's a Southern boy from Gainesville, Florida. And by the way, behind us, this is the USS Alabama. It's retired here in Port Mobile Bay. It's an awesome World War II era ship to walk around in and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so
I like how the sign is above the ship. How'd you guys do that?
They paid a lot of money to the Alabama.
Yeah, we got special permission from the Armed Forces and the Naval Department to do our beer show on the ship.
Yeah.
Wash it, fill it.
And Dee, what do you got there? Are you drinking anything right now? Are you gonna? Are you waiting?
Well, I'm about to. It's probably gonna put me to sleep. It seems like everything these days does, since all I do is eat and lay around and drink beer on the weekends. So I have the Redundant Duck Double Hazy IPA from Abel Baker.
Oh, okay.
They've been dropping a lot of these hazies, and they've done the Quarantine and Atomic and stuff like that. So I'm gonna drink this. This one's only 8%. So I had one that I was gonna drink. It's more like 10%. So I figured I'll maybe bring it down a little bit because I might want more later.
I think it's gonna happen. Yeah, yeah.
8 makes 16.
And by the way, if you're local to Vegas, Abel Baker is a brewery downtown, and I believe they've reopened. And I'm telling you, these guys are getting phenomenal reviews. Plus, I think they have food there too. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, this is great. And you know, Jimmy, you got a whole lineup of beers up there, don't you?
Oh God, yeah. You know, I found out something. This is one of the higher alcohol contents you can get here. I saw that they had Dogfish brews here. Well, I got thinking last fall it ought to be time for the 120s to come out, right?
Right.
So I went to our local bottle shop. I'm looking all over. I asked the guy, I said, "Where's the 120s?" He says, "Can't get them in Alabama." I go, "What?" It says apparently Alabama has a limit on beer alcohol content of 13%.
Wow.
Well, you know, a Dogfish 120 is like 18 or something, just blows that right out of the water. So I've got to drive across the state line to Pensacola, Florida to pick those up.
Yeah.
Rather inconvenient, but they have plenty of other stuff, so it keeps me busy.
Well, most of Dogfish beers are over that. You know.
This one here, this is the Cambium, and this is from the Cambium American Wild Ale. It's from Sweetwater Brewing, Atlanta, Georgia. Actually, the Abita is from Abita Springs. I made a mistake there earlier. So this one's from Sweetwater Brewing in Atlanta, and this sucker is a nice 7%, very light, but it packs a punch.
Right.
Real nice to get down here. Limited edition. They're corked, as you can see here.
Right.
And so we'll move on.
And you know, Jimmy, when you're down there in Alabama now, have you guys like kind of found your favorite brewery or one that you go to a lot more than others, or what?
That's like stuff for a whole nother show. We have we're up to about 5 breweries now that are just right here in Mobile, and then a few others that are upstate in Tuscaloosa and Montgomery. There's one of my favorites. I haven't actually been to the brewery, but they sell the beer down here. And the marketing manager is one of my best friends now. He has the beer ambulance. I think I sent you a picture of that a while back. They took an old ambulance and turned it into a beer truck with 8 taps on it. And that is the Ghost Train Brewing. Look them up. Ghost Train is amazing. They have some awesome beers. And one of my favorites, I couldn't get a can of it because they were out at the store, but it's called Maple Brownie Brunch. And it is it's a stout, and it is like you just have a chocolate brownie melting in your mouth. It is just amazing. I mean, you could boil this down and make syrup, pour it on your pancakes. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
That is one of my top favorite brews here. But anyway, so that's Ghost Train, and there is Serta Brewing here in downtown Mobile that makes a lot of really great beers and fills growlers, and has a nice brew pub where you can hang out outside, and you can bring a dog. It's it's a dog friendly place. As a matter of fact, all of them are down here. And there's Brewhouse, which is it's not a brewery, but it's just a pub. But it is just for people to bring their dogs. They have a huge enclosed dog park, AstroTurf down for the dogs, and pools and sprinklers and things for them to jump through. We bring our dog down there, Maggie, and she just goes nuts. I mean, we pull up in the parking lot, and you'd think she was at Disneyland. I mean,
Yeah, I saw you on the news. I saw you on the news about that park.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Cool. You're on TV,
Yeah, we have Mystic River Brewing, Iron Hand Brewing, a few others. There's Black Warrior that's up in Tuscaloosa, makes some excellent brews. So it's endless. There's so many brews to try down here. It'll take me the rest of my life to get into them all.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And and Dee, what's your beers of choice these days? What do you? I know you're really experimenting with a lot of different beers. In fact, you went to a virtual beer show, didn't you? A virtual beer festival?
Yeah, I did the first one for the West Coast through Rockstar Festivals, I think it was called. Excuse me. They've done, I think, 2 more since, but I went ahead and did the first one, and it was all West Coast beers. There was a couple ciders in there, a lot of IPAs, a couple stouts, a couple breweries I hadn't heard of, a lot of breweries that I had. They sent me 10 beers for like $35.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
It was pretty cool. It showed up on like Thursday afternoon, and the festival was Saturday. So you just kind of like basically just followed along with what they were doing, talking to the brewers and playing virtual games and stuff like that. But fortunately, I didn't get through all the beers during the festival because I don't drink that fast. So
Yeah, plus you pregame for 3 hours, right?
yeah, pregame for a little while, and then like I said, when they were doing the interviews, they were really short, and as soon as they were done with one beer, they'd go right to the next. So they kind of anticipated you were sharing a 12-ounce can with somebody else. I think that was basically what their whole mindset was. And I know the second one they sent out a lot more 16-ounce cans. So I didn't partake in that one, but I'm personally trying to get more into sours. I'm kind of burned out on the whole IPA game. It's saturated, so
Yeah.
they almost all taste alike, and then the only difference is just how strong they are. So I'm looking for more flavor these days. I actually picked up one. I'm going to pour it. I don't have a label for it. I got it from Mojave Brewing yesterday. It's a raspberry pepper ale, and it is unbelievable. It's like a 6%, and you get real sweet raspberry on the front. On the back end, it's just pepper up your throat, and it's just delicious.
And that's Mojave Brewing in downtown Las Vegas. I mean, downtown Henderson, right?
Yeah, I was there yesterday, and they actually also make a vanilla ale, cream ale, which is really good. But you mix the two,
Right.
and it's called the Bridezilla, and because the raspberry pepper stout's called Shotgun Wedding, and the other one is something Zilla. It's but you mix the two, and it's just unbelievable. The vanilla raspberry up front, you still get the pepper on the back. It doesn't even dilute the pepper on the back end.
Yeah. Did you get to take those beers in a growler, or do they sell it by cans, or how did you
Growler. Yeah. I was there yesterday to meet some friends, and another buddy showed up with a couple growlers so I could bring one home. I'll be down there next Friday as well.
Let's go. It's a party.
Hey,
right?
you're
Here we
invited,
go.
man. Let's do it. Me and Toy are meeting up with some friends down there, and
Yeah.
we're going to have fun.
Everybody who's watching the beer show should be down there. If you're local to Vegas, that's a good time. No question.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
You know, Darren, the sours are getting real popular down here too, everywhere.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, at the dog park we go to, there most of the brews there are sours. They're good because you're outside in the hot humidity and everything. They go
Right.
down well.
Yeah, everybody wants a lighter beer these days in the heat, and the sours are it.
Yeah. Are the sours higher in alcohol?
No, they're actually lower because, I mean, you're looking at anywhere between a 5 and a 7, basically, in percentage, and which is even better because then you can drink more of them. I mean, seriously, every time I go to buy beer now, I at least come back with a 4-pack of sours. So
Right.
I got to try it, you know.
No,
I mean,
that's
when we
great.
first started this thing 8 years ago, honestly, Ron, I don't know if you know this, but I think it was today, 8 years ago, was our first beer show at Cheers Bar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
that's great. I'll tell you this. First, time just flies right by, and man, I'll tell you, those days at Cheers Bar, it was so much fun. I really miss that. I miss it so much because it was such a great environment, and we had the run of the whole bar there. And like I talked about at the top of the show, Tori was out there. I just thought it was a really, really great time. I really missed it. Just like I missed the times in the cantina. I finally, after all this time, have forgiven Jimmy for selling his house and moving away. I've finally forgiven him for that.
Well, I haven't. So.
Yeah.
They can still suck it. I
You
don't
know,
know.
listen, it's nice to have the ship in the background and the Jimmy and Myrna's cantina sign there, but it's not the same as actually being at the cantina. So we all miss that for sure.
Give us another year. Construction plans are in the making for a new cantina. It's gonna have to wait. We have a few other projects going on here at the house, and there will be the cantina will it'll be a phoenix. It'll have a rebirth at some time, and hopefully by then airfares will be nice and cheap, and y'all can just come down here and
Yeah, finally, we'll get
It's
down
on my
there.
list.
Yeah. Thinking of doing actually is getting one of those big tough sheds dropped in, and get one big enough, and then we'll start redecorating. Because believe me, we did move the cantina. Everything in the cantina except the bottles was boxed up, and it's just sitting in storage, ready for a rebirth.
Yeah.
And so we'll have the Cantina South reborn someday.
Yep. No, that'd be awesome. That'd be a really good thing. Do you have anything left on your list of beers over there, Jimmy?
Well, yeah, I have a couple real quick. I'll just go over. This one is where are we here? This is the Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout from New Holland Brewing in Michigan. It's a 6%.
Is that the coconut banana?
No, this one is just it's just the Dragon's Milk. I don't know. Have you seen that one over in your part of the country?
Yeah, we get them. We get that stuff here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure.
Yeah, Lee's Liquor carries them.
Yeah, we never highlighted that on the show though, D. We never did a show on that beer.
We did do the coconut banana stout on one of the shows.
Right.
I think I saw that here. I'm going to have to get that one. But I do have a treat. Boy, I wish more than anything in the world I could share this with you guys, because I found a website, Belgian Ales, where you can get basically any Belgian beer in the whole world. And you buy them and they will ship them to you. So you guys remember back, it was probably one of the very first I Love Beer shows that we did in the cantina, where we introduced the McShoof.
I knew you were
Remember
gonna
that
say
one?
I remember that. Yes, I do remember that.
God, knocked your socks off. Well, this is a special limited edition, the Cherry Shoof.
Does it have Santa Claus on it?
Wow. Yep.
Get it right there. Made by those little elves just outside of Bastogne, Belgium. I will open this because this is just amazing. I want you to see the color of it. We'll put it into the McShoof glass here. Can you see the red cherry? It looks like red wine.
I think Dee left a picture to go make a reservation to go to fly there. I think after seeing that, Jimmy, that's a great looking beer right there.
Isn't that amazing?
Great looking beer. Yeah, it really is.
It's just art. It is so good. Another one of these, boy. Oh, if I could afford to buy a lot of them, I would reduce it and make a syrup out of it and put it on waffles, on Belgian waffles with whipped cream.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Salute.
Cheers. Cheers to you.
Here's the raspberry pepper.
That looks delicious too, D, right there.
This
Wow.
smells so good.
Yeah. So, as usual, the beer show is bringing some interesting beers to you guys out there in the audience there listening and watching. And if you guys have any suggestions, go to our website, ilovebeershow.com, and click on the contact button and tell us what beers you like and what you'd like us to feature on the show. If you're a brewery out there, man, we'd love to feature your beer. Get in contact with us, right, D?
Yeah, absolutely. I found out that we can pretty much get anything delivered. So if anybody's got any suggestions, please feel free to give it to us, because we'd like to try everything out there. So
yeah, and we'll keep doing these virtual shows until we can all get together and get back to the whole bar scene and without masks and all that other nonsense, right?
There's social distancing, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, there's 6 feet, and then there's 2,000 miles. I mean, come on. What more do you want from me?
I really miss those beer festivals out there in Vegas. Boy, they were fun. I hope we resume them really quickly. We can use one right now for sure, I think.
we should start our own. Just get like some multiple various kegs of some good stuff and invite 100 people. We'll call it a protest.
There you go. Exactly right. We're safe. We're safe on all levels if we call it a protest.
That's okay. So fuck it.
You know what they need to invent? They need to invent a liquid internet, basically a pipeline where, you know, the way we process information virtually, well, you could just process a beer right down the pipe, kind of like putting it in a tube at the bank, you know?
Yeah.
Say,
Right,
Here,
right.
here, Dee, try this one and stick it in it.
All right, let's close this show out for now, and we're going to be doing this a lot more. And please go to our website, go to our Facebook fan page, like the page. We have Instagram too. We keep that thing going. Of course, on YouTube, we're out there. We're going to keep these shows coming at you. We got all locations of the United States now, with this being virtual, right? So anyone who wants to be a guest on a show, just let us know. We'll have some virtual happy hours with you. But for the time being, thanks for watching today, and we'll be at you again with another I Love Beer show. Have a great time. Cheers.